Vanessa Joy here, and thanks so much for reading the article in the lighting issue of Shutter Mag. As a natural light photographer like myself, lighting was a bit daunting when I learned it, and really learning how to apply it. So I hope you guys got a few good tips out of ways that you can start integrating off-camera flash quite easily into your workflow. And I wanted to give you some visual examples of the three types of setups that I've explained to you. The first one is fill light here. So as a natural light photographer, for example, you're in a situation like this where it's super bright. Great opportunity for a silhouette here, but you could have Uncle Bob standing next to you, for example, doing the exact same thing. And sometimes you just want to get a leg up on Uncle Bob whenever you can. So what I have in the next photo you'll see is just fill light. So it makes a huge difference. I'm still getting pretty much the same background. I brighten this one up a little bit, but in this case now I've lit their faces as well, so it's not a silhouette. With this one, there was one B1 Profoto B1 light off to this side right here, literally right out of frame. It was very close at our faces, bare bulb, because I needed to max out the intensity on their faces here. If I had only had speed lights in this shot, there's no way I would have gotten the light that I have on their faces. It just would not have been bright enough to power over this sun in the obviously noonday that this was. But that's a good example just of the difference of pulling in using fill light. This shot, for example, I only have one light over here to this side of the photo. I believe that was bare bulb also. I don't think I had any modifier on there, but if I didn't have the light here, this whole sky would have gone completely white. Sorry for the quick pause there, but I figured it was only fair to show you the completely white sky. If I had just shot that picture with natural light, that's what it looked like with natural light. And they're standing in the exact same spot, slightly different angle, a little bit closer and vertical, but that's the difference there. So I'm completely different. Now, my brand is this. When you look at my photography website, you're going to see my brand is very light, airy, beautiful, pretty. So they love this. That's what they expect from me when they hire me. But think anyone's complaining about getting that picture? Absolutely not. That was one that, they made a full spread in their wedding album. So just wanted to show you that there. And then just a few other examples here. So this was just last week in the rain. It was really raining that day. But if I had just had, the natural light photograph, I would have had some dark circles under their eyes because the light was straight overhead. Although it was cloudy, the light is still coming from straight overhead. So it would have made some dark circles under their eyes. And you can see, particularly on the bride and groom, they've got no dark circles because it did have a light right over on the left-hand side. And I had a B2, Profoto B2 for this shot. This example, as well as this next one, and I think one more, yep. These three here are all from this same wedding where I showed you the first one, so we know this is bright noon, harsh sun. So with this, if I had shot it in natural light, and I don't actually have any photos to show you of natural light of this, all of this greenery back here and this white wall was completely blown out. So again, could I have shot it that way and had this completely blown out background? Sure, but now I've got some with a bit of color. And these are types of photographs that my clients look at these and don't think I shot these with flash because I'm just using it ever so slightly to balance out my exposure for the background and the foreground. So that's number one, fill light. That's what that can do to your photography. The second one here is backlight, and we'll start off, this is just all from one engagement session in Central Park. So here's this photograph. It is fine, it's pretty. This is not edited, this is just raw, straight out of camera, by the way, so don't judge. And then this is with a speed light behind them and my assistants kind of crouching down there pointing the speed light at their heads. So huge difference. Again, nice photograph, but pop in a speed light and now I have everything glowing. The whole picture really just comes to life. Moving on to exact same shoot, same sort of thing. Yeah, do I like this picture? And I need to edit my assistant's leg, but again, this is raw. Do I like this picture? Sure, it's pretty. I can edit it, make it a little bit brighter, but I pop in the flash behind. Now we have a whole different story, a whole different level. And again, same thing. They're in the same area here, got the backlight here, but then in this picture, we don't. So very different. Very different. So that's what the backlighting can do for you. And then if you want to do nighttime pictures with the backlight, that's what this is. So backlit here, with in the rain. In the rain, it was beautiful. Actually, this wasn't even really raining; it was barely misting, but the flash will accentuate that. And then finally, doubling it up using both that backlight, and this is the exact same couple as that silhouette previously, except now I have the same backlight that's standing in the same exact spot, but I've doubled in my fill light that's coming off from over here. These are with the B1s, exact same spot, just a little bit closer, and then I let that backlight flare in. So this is just doubling up the concept of putting the flash in front and in back. Honestly, this is the exact same setup I do with almost all my nighttime portraits. I have to admit, I'm not that creative. This was my first year really experimenting with it. And hopefully I'll be doing some more dynamic lighting from here on out. But it's the same kind of thing. Backlight with the front light. You're doing just two things right there. The same exact thing, except I've flared my backlight here and my front light filling them in. So again, exact same thing. I've got a backlight here, front light here, and this one's a little bit more extreme. I have my front light here, my fill light, and my fill light over here. So I did have 3 lights total on them in that picture, but that's it. So those are just some illustrative examples of how you can use these lights to enhance your photography, whether it's trying to be more comfortable in a bad situation or creating something really creative for your client. I hope that helps you out, and happy shooting.